This is the Sports Hit List. By the fans, for the fans.
After completing the MLB and the NFL Mount Rushmore, it is time we come to the best sport in the world of the NBA Mount Rushmore series, episode 1. Carl Coulage for the Sports Hit List. By the fans and for the fans, let me introduce my panel. First and foremost, Mr. Numbers, Andres Rivas. This was his concept. He pitched it. He said, Carl, I think we should do this for the NBA, and then it went along to the other sports. So, Andres, thank you for pitching it. How you doing, sir?
Doing amazing. That was one hell of an intro, bro. I appreciate you.
We have the co-founder of the Sports Hit List, Mr. Ziggy. Zig himself is in the building. Ziggs, how you doing, man?
Conda forever, bro. Hey, what's up?
We have the self-proclaimed co-founder, the pastor himself, Mr. Mike Miller. Mike, how you doing, sir?
I'm here and I'm great. Don't say self-proclaimed. You better give me my credit, Carl.
And we have from the Falco takeaway, Branden Falco, the rookie with his outlandish takes. Branden, how you doing, sir?
Saving the best for last, I say.
All right, you guys know the rules. You know how this is played. Everyone gets 4 picks. We're doing episode 1, the center position. We're starting with the big man position here. So let me give Andres the floor first, since this was his concept. Andres, who are your top 4 centers in NBA history all time?
Damn, you're putting me on the spot.
Absolutely.
I know we said no honorary mentions, but the one honorary mention I'm going to give is to Wilt Chamberlain. He was a 2-time NBA champion. He was a 1-time Finals MVP, 4-time MVP, 13-time All-Star. But let's get into the
face.
Yo,
Mike, listen, I know where you're going. Just let him make his list, and then we can get on with the show.
Yo,
Mike, I just did an intro. Come on, bro. It's too early.
I'm not saying nothing, Carl. I'm not saying that. My temperature's already rise. I'm not going to say nothing.
Andres, the floor is yours, brother.
So number 4 is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. 6-time MVP, 2 times Final MVP, yada, 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 19-time NBA All-Star, whatever you want to call him.
That sounds like hate.
A lot of people call him the greatest player of all time. That's fine. Number 3 is Bill Russell, 11-time NBA champion, 5-time MVP, 12-time NBA All-Star, never lost a Game 7. Number 2 is Shaquille O'Neal, 4-time NBA champion, 3-time Finals MVP, 15-time All-Star, 14-time All-NBA member, 8-time All-NBA first team. And number 1 has to be, drum roll, Hakeem Olajuwon, man, the dream. 2-time NBA champion, 2-time Finals MVP, 1994 MVP, had the greatest regular season of all time, had the greatest playoff run of all time the following year. He won a championship with an all-star teammate, and those are my 4 picks.
Okay, so Andres goes with Dream, Shaq, Bill Russell, and Kareem. Let's go to Ziggy Zig. Zig, the floor is yours. Who are your top 4?
All right, so my top 4, and to be honest, I can't really put it into no chronological order, right? But I'm just gonna go ahead and just shoot right from the hip, right? So the first one that I got coming up off the top is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Longevity in the league, been playing for about 20 seasons with the Lakers. 26-10 at one point with the Lakers, 34-16 with the Bucks, 6 championships. Also got a championship with Milwaukee, something that Giannis will probably never do. So that's my pick with Kareem right there. My next one will go right to Wilt Chamberlain. I don't know about an honorable mention for Wilt Chamberlain, but he's one of the most dominant players in the NBA history. It's a shame that we don't have any more like video to watch of him other than a few black and white YouTube clips. But he's been a dominant force in the NBA. It's just a shame that he hasn't been able to get a few more championships, was able to get 2. So I'm going to go with Wilt Chamberlain. Gonna definitely go ahead and piggyback off of Andres number 1 though, and go and get Hakeem Olajuwon. Hakeem Olajuwon is another legend in the league. Oh man, so amazing in the post with the moves that he did in his career. We've seen how he was out here killing David Robinson in the playoffs because of, you know, David Robinson out here stealing the MVP and whatnot. I know, Carl, that's like one of your favorite stories.
Oh man, love that
also
clip.
What's that? Sorry.
I said I love that clip of just it's like the 2-3 step, just the dream shake.
shake.
Oh,
Yeah, dream
I
shake.
could watch that forever, bro. Started.
Yeah, the dream shake. Okay, so I'm definitely going with him. Also 2-time champion. People also want to talk about, oh, he did it when Michael Jordan wasn't there. So what? That's whose fault is that? That's just how it ended up playing out to be, right? So he did his thing, sweeping Orlando. And of course, beating my New York Knicks, which is a shame.
A different story.
Yeah. So what's that? That's 3, right? So I have one more for you. And my number 1 is the man that I grew up as a kid watching, killing people left and right. Shaquille O'Neal, man. That purple and yellow, that was dangerous. I was coming up in middle school watching Shaquille O'Neal dominate the Indiana Pacers. Sorry, Mike. Dominate the Philadelphia 76ers. Dominate the New
Shouts out to Rick
Jersey
Smith, baby.
Nets. And then we saw him win 3 championships back to back to back. We thought he was going to get another one in Detroit, but Detroit surprised a lot of us and ended up getting traded out east to Miami. And we saw what he did with Dwayne Wade and able to get another championship, but this time playing more of a secondary role. I love Shaq. I love watching him play. Definitely was a dominant force in the league. Interior defense too, was able to get 3 blocks. Amazing. I'm going to go with that. That's my pick.
All right. So Ziggs goes with Kareem, Wilt, Dream, and Shaq. Falco, you're on the clock.
Oh, I thought you were gonna save the biggest dude for the last for the big man. Anyways, we'll go number 4. Wilt Chamberlain, 2-time champion, Finals MVP, scored 100 points, the most in a single game when he did it about in 1400 BC. Now for number 3, I'll go Hakeem Olajuwon, the Dream. Ultimately, why Jeffrey retired in 94-95 because it would ruin his perfect Finals record, and Hakeem ended up getting those
Call
2.
him man Jeffrey.
No, I'm speaking. I don't want to be. Now, number 2, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the all-time leading scorer, 6-time champion. His longevity, probably the best longevity in the history of basketball until GOAT James eventually captures that when he plays about 20 years. He'll officially have that throne. And now, number 1, the most dominant force in the history of basketball, Shaquille O'Neal. That three-peat, he's a part of the best duo in the history of basketball. What he did in those 3 years, averaging 38 points per game in the finals, winning an MVP during that stretch, the most unguardable player probably in NBA history.
For some strange reason, you find a way to include LeBron in this conversation.
It's ridiculous.
About centers. You couldn't help yourself. You couldn't help yourself, bro. It's like no one was talking about it. We're talking about centers, and you find some way to.
You gotta stop this.
I gotta make my case. I gotta explain to the fans what's actually going on.
This has nothing to do with LeBron.
All right, so he goes with Shaq, Kareem, Dream, and Wilt. Pastor, the floor is yours, my brother.
Well, we're gonna. I see. This is why I don't like the youth of today.
Okay, Mike, we're gonna address Mike. Mike, listen, we can address them later. I just want to hear your picks right now, and then we can address and we can assess and break down afterwards. Okay.
Wilt, Kareem, Shaq, and David Robinson. Yes,
Wilt,
David Robinson
Kareem.
is one of my personal favorites. I remember David Robinson when he won the scoring title on the last game of the season. Shaq was crying about it still to this day. David Robinson is one of my favorites, so yeah, I'm gonna put him in there.
Okay, so Mike goes with Wilt, Kareem, Shaq, and David Robinson. Andres, I have to call you to the front of the Hitless congregation because you're the only one not to put, not to have Wilt on your list. Why is that?
Well, I mean, it's pretty simple. Wilt Chamberlain played in an era where he had 126 possessions per game by himself. If you want to measure that to today, the Bucks as a team as a whole, they had 106 possessions per game. The year that he averaged 50 points per game, which was 1962, that was a cute stat. But then he made it to the finals or the conference finals, and in Game 7, he only had 22 points.
It's never been done. It's a cute stat.
It is a cute stat. It's a very cute stat.
It's never been done. Never.
It's still a cute stat. Anywho. In that Game 7, he only had 22 points. I think his numbers were a little too inflated. And he played, I think he played 5 times against Bill Russell, and he got eliminated all 5 times. So there's no reason why Wilt should be. There's no reason why he should be over. Why he should be over Bill Russell.
Okay, Mike, do you have a comment or a question?
Of course. Let me take care of these little kids. So basically, your argument is his era, but.
I'm not saying his era. I give credit to
Bill Russell in.
Hell yeah,
you put Bill Russell in, who played in the same era.
Right, because he was 10-0 in Game 7. All of them were decided by 5 points or less. He beat.
Let me ask you a question. Has there ever been a team called the Bill Russells?
Thank you.
I haven't.
Yeah, that's what I
never heard of
Bill Russell. To be fair, now you see now you can tag me in because I'm a Celtic historian, and he did play with Tommy Heinsohn. He also
got drafted with Tommy Heinsohn, and
he did play with Hondo, right?
There were 3 Hall of Famers already on the team.
Sam Jones. He played
Listen,
with
Bill
a lot
Russell.
of Hall of Famers. He had a team surrounded around him.
7 Hall of
A lot of them
Famers.
Hondo. You can't
every
deny that.
Every team every team that Bill Russell beat had 3 Hall of Famers except the 1962 Lakers, who had Elgin Baylor
He
and Jerry
played with
West.
7 Hall of Famers.
He beat 21 Hall of
And
Famers
not to
31 times
mention,
in Game
not to
7.
He played
mention,
with 7.
hold on, wait,
Wilt
not to,
Chamberlain
and
4
also
times,
not to
bro.
mention, to be fair, he was also
Don't do
coached
that.
by arguably one of the greatest coaches ever in Red Auerbach and Red
Yo,
Auerbach.
Carl, let me
Don't
talk
do
to him
that,
again.
bro.
And also, and
Don't
also,
do that,
and
bro.
also, here's another thing too that you're miscrediting because of Bill Russell was able to step down and do other things. Wilt and Bill Russell will tell you this, and there's this Celtic book that I read that's called The Last Pass, where he talks about the competition between Wilt and Bill Russell. Like,
And he beat him 4 times.
they were neck.
He
It doesn't
did not
matter.
be. There is
They were
no
neck and neck.
Carl, let me talk to him.
Okay.
Carl, let me talk to him again. Just let me talk to him. First of all, let me help you understand something, my young friend. There is no such team in NBA history called the Bill Russells. Now, you said Bill Russell versus Wilt Chamberlain. Do you know what Bill, you like numbers, right? You know what Wilt Chamberlain averaged against Bill Russell, right?
Like
30
29,
and 28.
30 if I'm not. Yeah,
30
what did I
and
count to?
28.
And he lost. So what
Because
does it matter?
teams win
That's the
games.
thing.
We're
That's the
talking
thing.
about greatest centers, not greatest centers who play on a team.
Teams and
Now,
Okay.
you call yourself Mr. Numbers, take that off if you're talking about numbers, and then don't mention Wilt Chamberlain, who is the record book. He's the NBA record book.
Wilt Chamberlain,
Every
listen,
record
Wilt
you think
Chamberlain had
of
an interview.
is Wilt Chamberlain's records.
Wilt
Most
Chamberlain,
career points per
Wilt
game
Chamberlain,
average, most rebounds per game average, most scoring points in a game, the only center in NBA history to lead the league in assists. Like, what you want? Numbers.
Wilt Chamberlain,
I'll never
Wilt
refer to you
Chamberlain,
as Mr.
listen.
Numbers ever again.
Wilt
I'm not
Chamberlain came
referring
out.
to that again.
Wilt
No.
Chamberlain came out and said he was a
Yeah.
stat pattern, dude. Don't do that.
What do you mean he was a stat pattern?
Okay, so let's
Chamberlain-
aside from Andres leaving and Mike had an interesting soliloquy about that. Is there anything else that surprises us with our list? David Robinson clearly made the list. Is that a fair by Mike putting him on that list?
Not at
I
all.
mean, you can't knock his list for that. That's his personal list. You know what I'm saying?
It was
I
a
can't.
personal one. I like
Right.
if we're gonna be real.
Right. But you know what? To be consistent though, we just attacked Andres for leaving off Wilt, but he
No,
was
It should be.
No, there's a difference between personal and then something stupid. Like that's stupid to leave Wilt Chamberlain off of. That's stupid. Like
Wilt Chamberlain came out and said he chose his stats over wins, bro.
But if you leave Wilt Chamberlain off your list doesn't count. It doesn't count. Like, period.
Wilt
Okay.
Chamberlain came out and said he was a stat
Okay,
pattern.
Falco.
Don't do
Okay,
that.
Falco. What are your thoughts with the David Robinson pick and the Wilt being left off?
I think just the Wilt pick is utterly ridiculous because he tries to compare that it's just like a one-on-one matchup. This is a one-on-one. This is not a one-on-one tournament. Last time I checked, last time I checked, teams win championships. We're trying to make team games and team accomplishments into individual ones, which is utterly ridiculous. I'm not going to elaborate because you guys are going to kill me for it. So I'll just stop there. You know.
Okay. Okay. Zig.
I'll just stop.
Okay, Ziggs. What are your thoughts overall with everybody else's picks here?
Well, it's a lot of picks, so I can't even remember everybody's pick. But I feel like me and Falco, we had the same amount of picks. Right? We had the same amount of picks.
Right.
I was shocked at first when I first heard Mike mention David Robinson, but when he said it was a personal favorite, I'm like, all right, that's cool. But I think, I don't know, not to be like beat a dead horse, but the whole leaving Wilt Chamberlain off the list, that's crazy because when you look at that time, you look at that era, and I was doing the history about up during that time, the Celtics had a lock on that era, on that conference. Whatever that, I don't remember exactly how it is, but whatever the setup is, they had a lock on it. Like no one could get past the Celtics.
I want to say one thing. Shaquille O'Neal is part of the best duo in the history of basketball.
Oh, good Lord.
All right. So with that being said, let me continue. So it was a whole lock on that coast. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't just Bill Russell doing it. He was a major impact on it. But you look at the record books and you see that individually, Wilt Chamberlain killed Bill Russell. Statistically,
but
he didn't win.
Every
So
time.
what
right.
does it matter?
Okay, but now when you start
mentioning
mentioning wins, that's a team accomplishment.
Why can't you get that? Why
Mike,
can't you get that?
That's a
So
team.
why you-
I think that's what
Mike,
everybody's
Okay,
saying.
Andres, go ahead, and then we got to move on, bro. Go ahead.
Mike, you kill LeBron. Listen, Mike, you kill LeBron for being. To give you an example, you kill LeBron for being 3-6 in the finals, and you blame him. So now we're blaming.
How do you know I do that?
Because you do that. Because you do that. Yes.
And again, we're shifting the conversation back to LeBron. This is
I love LeBron too much.
I'm not wrong.
I don't understand it. I don't understand it.
Why do we always talk about LeBron?
How?
Listen,
How? We're not even talking about small forwards.
I'll give Mike his
centers.
I'll give Mike his credit.
God, man.
I'll give Mike his credit. Anything in basketball outside of LeBron, he's got great takes. Once you start talking about LeBron, you are Mikey bad takes, like straight up.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna.
This is ridiculous. Yo, I think it's maybe because people think I look like LeBron that makes them think about LeBron. But y'all gotta stop this.
This is unbelievable.
Ridiculous.
This is the first time. Listen, I've been doing these Mount Rushmore since the summertime. This is the first time where someone is not on the conversation and he's become part of the conversation.
He don't even play the position, Carl. I can see LeBron as a center. He's not even a center. This is ridiculous, yo.
Okay, fine. All right. So, Mike, out of your 4, who makes your top list all time?
Will, of course, greatest player of all time. Let's go.
He's a bum.
Ooh, you gotta stop with the disrespect, man.
You can't like basketball anymore.
Say that again?
What you said?
Jeffrey? Is that what you just said? Wilt ahead of Jeffrey? I just heard greatest.
Everybody know. Colin.
Nah, that's been Mike's MO for like 10 years.
Saying that for years. Yeah, he's been saying that for years.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Okay, Ziggs, the floor is yours. Who you got?
Out of my list, you definitely know Wilt Chamberlain got to be up there.
No, Mike already took Wilt. So
Wilt Chamberlain. You took Wilt Chamberlain.
You gotta go.
I'm going with Shaq.
That's good.
Going with Shaq.
Okay. Andres.
The dream, man. Greatest center of all time.
And
You
Falco.
don't believe that. You too young.
I
to
do.
believe that. You don't believe
No,
that.
I'm not that young.
You don't believe that. You're like
He did
18.
have
You don't believe that.
Okay,
I know
so
you
Falco,
don't.
who you going with?
bro.
You going with Kareem?
No, I'm going the hook.
He going Kareem.
Abdul-Jabbar.
Okay.
I took a little bit of a spice in my game.
That's
Okay. So
That's
now,
a tough list.
so listen. So this is the final list. Dream, Wilt, Shaq, Kareem. Are we satisfied with this list?
That was my. That
That's
was
the
my-
list. That's the
We're
list.
not, but we can move on.
So who we leaving off? We leaving off Bill Russell?
We left
We
off
can't-
Bill Russell.
We
Good.
can't live.
Because individually, all the 4 people we named were more dominant than Bill Russell.
I'm
That's
sorry,
a fact.
man.
Nobody can
Bill
debate
gotta
that.
come
That's a
off for
fact.
that. That's a team accomplishment.
Are we okay with leaving Bill Russell off? We're good.
Of
No, we're
course.
not. We're
Okay,
not.
so Andres is not happy. So are we shifting?
We're
How we
not
shift-
shifting.
Well, how
We're
do
not
we gotta
shifting.
do?
So
No, ain't
Andres,
no
are
way
you
to
going to
shift.
sacrifice? Wait, if Andres wants to sacrifice Dream for Bill
I'm
Russell,
not
he can.
sacrificing. Listen, Hakeem Olajuwon had the greatest playoff run of all time. I'm not getting him off. I'm sorry.
Okay,
What?
so that means it is.
Who he
what
win
it-
against? Who he win against?
In 1995, he
Who did he go
outplayed the
against?
Utah Jazz. Then he beat the
Okay.
Suns, and then he sunned David Robinson, and then he sunned Shaquille O'Neal. Any more questions?
Okay. How old was Shaq?
He was like 22, 23 in the second year. So
How old was he?
Hakeem, like 30
How
something,
old was
31,
Shaq?
22, 23, 24. I don't
Okay,
know.
so he beat a 22-year-old Shaq. Thank you. Good
Did he
night.
w-
That's the greatest
Oh,
run
so-
ever. You too young.
That is the greatest
You
run
too
ever.
young. That you sound crazy.
That's
the greatest run ever. Are you
the
sure?
greatest run ever, 100%. And then in 1994, he had the greatest individual season of all time, and he won the 10.
He had the greatest individual season of all time. Hakeem Olajuwon in '94.
94, the only season to have MVP, Finals MVP, win the championship, All NBA first team, All NBA defensive first team, Defensive Player of the Year, and he won the championship without having a team average over 15 points or an All-Star teammate. Goodbye.
What was his numbers? What was his numbers that year?
In the playoffs? 30 per game,
No. The whole year.
29 per game,
So
29.
he had
and
one
11
good
per game.
year, and that makes him the greatest player, the greatest center ever.
Only
You lost your
in the
mind?
basketball.
Yep.
Listen, only in the
Yep.
basketball Mount Rushmore do we have more just outlandish takes. I don't believe it's the greatest run ever because he added.
No.
He had it
Who
on
had a
Clyde
better run than
Drexler.
him?
He had it on Clyde Drexler midseason.
He didn't have Clyde Drexler in 1994, Carl. Try
You
again.
said 95 though. Correct
I
yourself.
said
You said he had his greatest
Okay.
season run in 95, and he had Clyde Drexler in
He had
95.
he had
That's
the
what you said.
greatest playoff run. He had the greatest playoff
But
run.
he had
in
Clyde
95.
Drexler with him along that run in that 1995. They added Clyde Drexler, who was another 20-point scorer in that year. So you can't
And
say
an all-star.
and an all-star. So you can't even
Good
say
night.
that. I believe Dirk had a better run than I
We
believe
have to
Dirk
teach
had a
you.
better run than that. So we can't say
Dirk
that.
had a way better run than that. Talk to me.
No, he did not. Oh my
He
God.
swept the defending, like the two-time defending champion Lakers.
Oh my
Again,
God.
Again,
Carl, you already
I'm
know.
gonna have to
Explain to him Dirk's run.
Listen, I'm gonna have to edit this out. We know he knows what it is because they ended up beating his Miami Heat in the
Oh
finals.
yes, I forgot.
Know that.
Personal. It's personal. I forgot. It's personal. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
1994 Hakeem Olajuwon is what you guys think stood out.
It's just a nerve. We apologize.
So back again for the fans out there. Dream, Wilt, Shaq, and Kareem wraps up episode 1. This is just the beginning. This is only episode 1. Episode 2 will feature the power forward position. I believe Andres, Mike is back on there, Ray Jarvis, and Ricardo Etienne is on that one. We'll do that one next week.
Where are my small forwards at?
That's coming later on. That's coming.
Wow.
No, we can wrap up now.
Yo.
You guys take care. Make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe to the Sports Hit List. Make sure you check out Andre's podcast. Make sure you check out Falco's podcast. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care.
Thanks for watching the Sports Hit List. Be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. In fact, do it now.